So to say that we have this resolution, yes, but there are senators who voted against it, and therefore it is not necessarily our agreement with the points being raised by the good senator from Camarines Norte. For the
Meron lang po akong mga konting katanungan sa inyo. Sapagkat gusto ko po sanang ireklamo si Senator Pangilinan sa pagsigaw. Meron po ba sa rules natin na sinasabing pwede mong sigawan ng kapwa mo senador?
Mr. President.
Narinig ko yung malakas na boses ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Alam ko na si Senator Pangilinan ay dating galing sa broadcasting, baka nag-modulate. Maari po ba tayo ay mag-suspend muna para pag-usapan yung malakas na boses at wali pagsigaw ni Senator
Excuse me, nasa akin po yung floor.
Senator Padilla has the floor. The chair is answering the question of Senator Padilla. Session is suspended.
Tumaas na ng boses. Tumaas ng boses. Nakikita si
I've been playing this puzzle game on my phone. It's called Arrows Go. It's simple.
Sir, hindi ako sumisigaw. Tumaas ang boses. Humihingi ako sa mga mag-isa kay bagay ni
Thank you, Isaiah. Sir, sorry po just one last question na lang from, kung okay pa po, no? From Jonathan Andal of GMA 7. Hello po. Pwede po malaman yung voting on impeachment matters considering si Senator Bato de la Rosa. Ano po ang posisyon nyo doon?
Is this for the legislative process or for the impeachment process?
I believe it's on the impeachment matters. Or, yeah, yes ma'am.
Well, if it is for the impeachment process, my personal opinion is the senator judges should be personally present. This is paramount because this is a constitutional mandate. So, I believe that they should be present to have a correct appreciation of all the evidence to be presented. And that is including the exercise of his or her right to vote.
Maraming salamat po ulit sa ating House Leaders at House Prosecutors. Of course, kay former Quadcom Chair Robert Ace Barbers.
Yes.
At sa mga kasama sa media at maging sa mga technical people ng House Representative for joining us this afternoon. With that, we're concluding our press conference. Ngayong hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Po tay. 5,000 po tay. Ano na eh? Ito. Ini. Seven. Plus 17.
Madam President, to allow our colleagues to craft the necessary amendment being proposed here on the floor, may I move that we suspend consideration of Senate Bill number 1511 under Committee Report number 15. And so move, Madam President.
Any objections? Hearing none. The period of amendments on the measure is suspended.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, with the consent of the body, I move that we transfer from the calendar for ordinary business to the calendar for special orders, House Bill number 6639 under Committee Report number 61,
Lumaglag kayo, gamay!
and House Bill number 6644 under Committee Report number 62. These are bills granting Philippine citizenships. I so move, Madam President.
Any objection? Hearing none. Motion is approved.
Madam President, I move that we consider the aforementioned House bills. I so move.
Any objection? Hearing none. The motion is approved. Secretary, please read into the record the title of the bills without prejudice to inserting into the record the whole text thereof.
House Bill number 6639, an act granting Philippine citizenship to Benny Francois Boatwright III. House Bill number 6644, an act granting Philippine citizenship to Matthew James Ramos. Madam President,
upon the consultation of this representation to the minority leader and with the consent of the body, may I respectfully move to recognize Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan to deliver an omnibus sponsorship speech. I so move, Madam President.
We recognize Senator Kiko Pangilinan for his sponsorship. Yes, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, distinguished Majority Leader, Acting Majority Leader, and to our distinguished colleagues. I rise today, with the permission of our colleagues, for an omnibus sponsorship of two committee reports. Committee Report number 61 in consideration of House Bill 6639, granting Philippine citizenship to Benny Francois Boatwright III, and Committee Report number 62 in consideration of House Bill number 6644, granting Philippine citizenship to Matthew James Ramos. These measures correspond to Senate Bill 5095, authored by Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano, Senator Pia Cayetano, and Senator Bongo, granting Philippine citizenship to Benny Boatwright, and Senate Bill number 1613, authored by Senator Bongo, granting Philippine citizenship to Matthew James Ramos. Matthew and Benny are world-class athletes who, despite the many opportunities and paths available to them elsewhere, have chosen to cast their lot with the Filipino people. Pinili nila hindi lang lumaban para sa bandila natin, pinili rin nilang maging bahagi ng ating kwento bilang isang bansa. Matthew James Ramos is a decorated wrestler and a proud son of Filipino Pangasinense Father Chris Crescente Holanday Ramos. Kahit na ipinanganak at pinalaki sa Estados Unidos, pinili ni Matthew na bigyang karangalan ng kanyang mga ninuno. Hindi lang sa salita, kung hindi sa sakripisyo, sa paninindigan at serbisyo sa Philippine sports. At the height of a promising wrestling career in the United States, Matthew made the life-changing decision to represent the Philippines in international competitions and help elevate the sport of wrestling in the country. Among his outstanding accomplishments, Matthew was runner-up in the 2023 NCAA Championships and was two-time Big Ten place winner, finishing 7th in 2022 and 3rd in 2023. He became the 2022 U.S. Open champion in the 57-kilogram category and reached the NCAA Championships round of 12 in the 133-pound division that same National Wrestling Coaches Association Scholar, All-American, and at a young age category. He was ranked among the top wrestling recruits in the United States by Flow Wrestling International. The many doors open to him in America, Matthew chose the Philippines. He embraced not only our food, from adobo to dinuguan and to balut. If you are able to eat balut, you are very, very Filipino in that sense. But also the deeper values that define us as a people. Respect for elders through po and opo. The importance of family. During the hearing, I think 6 or 7 or 8 of his family members and his fiancée or his girlfriend was there. And he brought the warmth of the Filipino spirit and of community. Like adobo, which is cooked differently in every region of the country, being Filipino comes in many forms. But whether in cooking, in sports, or in nationhood, what matters most is the heart, ang puso. and for Matthew Ramos, becoming Filipino is already in his heart. He was unable to attend today's sponsorship speech, Mr. President, but he was actually here last week when we were scheduled to sponsor it last week. He had to go back to the United States for a competition, but he is committed to coming back when we pass this measure in plenary. We also recognize Benny Francois Boatwright III, a 27-year-old basketball player from Los Angeles, California, whose talent and leadership have already inspired countless Filipino basketball for the PBA Commissioner's Cup. He played a crucial role in leading the Pyramid to the championship, delivering 19 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists in the title-clinching Game 6. Sacrifice and teamwork. That spirit mirrors our own Bayanihan tradition, the belief that people achieve great one another up. By embracing the Philippines and choosing to stand with Filipino athletes, Benny Boatwright strengthens not only our basketball program, but of excelling on the international stage, defending our Asian Games title, and one day returning to the Olympics. In recognizing the sincere desire of Matthew James Ramos and Benny Francois Boatwright achievements as athletes, but also their genuine commitment to our flag, our people, nation. For citizenship is not defined solely by jus soli, meaning right by birthplace, or jus sanguinis, meaning right by blood. As people have moved since the beginning of time, citizenship is also defined by the right to carry the Philippine flag. Ang nagmamahal sa Pilipinas, mabuhay Pilipinas. May we request our colleagues, we urge them.
Man from San Juan, Senator Jinggoy Estrada would like to deliver his co-sponsorship speech. I move that he be recognized, Madam President.
Estrada's recommendation.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, distinguished colleagues, I'm honored to co-sponsor the bills granting Filipino citizenship to two remarkable athletes to it. House Bill number 6639 under Committee Report number 61, entitled An Act Granting Francois Boatwright III, and House Bill number 6644 under number 62, entitled An Act Granting Philippine Citizenship to Matthew James Ramos. The said bills are reported out by the Committee on Justice and Human Rights under the able leadership of its chairperson, Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan, the best friend of Senator Robin Padilla.